So if you go back to the year 2000, when we were contemplating a location for Fifth Third Field, we looked at the warehouse district amongst probably 8 to 10 other sites and landed here because we saw the potential of the warehouse district to turn into residential and small business and entertainment, bars, restaurants. I can tell you that before LISC entered the fold, we were really struggling with how to put the project together, if at all.
Kevin and I purchased this factory that you see behind me. It's a former Wonder Bread factory. It was built in 1924, and that's actually its original purpose, was to bake bread.
The property was abandoned. The land bank saw the property sitting here with unpaid property taxes, without anybody really taking care of it. And so we stepped in, we used the tools at our disposal to become the new owners of the property. And then we did what we always do, which was to look for partners who would then be able to step in and make the kind of investment that would bring the property back to life.
We purchased the building from the Lucas County Land Bank, and the next meeting we had was set up with LISC.
Furniture Square hasn't been a viable economic driver, hasn't been a destination. The building's repair or disrepair shows that. We are trying to take it back to what it originally was and give it a future that can create a long-term destination.
LISC stands for Local Initiative Support Corporation, and we are a national nonprofit community development financial institution. We work with partners and residents to forge resilient and inclusive communities.
LISC is an important resource because banks and other lenders, they don't often lead new initiatives. They aren't the first money that is necessarily available to people who are trying to pioneer big, complicated, brand new uses for old buildings. So LISC as a lender helps to really seed that investment so that then other banks, other lenders can step in and continue to support it. But without that initial investment, without that initial start, often none of these things ever get off the ground.
Frankly, just the price tag and some of the things we're trying to accomplish, we need private sector investment. But there's often a gap between what the public can do and has done and what the private sector wants to do. And that is where LISC historically has jumped in to provide almost a bridge between the public and the private.
LISC's role, being a CDFI and the work they do around, not only in Toledo, but around the country is critically important. Their philosophy, their goals are all around social impact and making lives better. And so to do that, you have to take risks, and they're set up to be able to do that.
ProMedica came and they saw this as an opportunity, and they actually came to us and said, would you be interested in developing it? This building's about 200,000 square feet. It's gonna have roughly 88 to 95 apartments at the final design. It's gonna have about 60,000 square feet of commercial space. Toledo's a difficult market to work in. It has some capital needs. You need somebody that with high lending capacity and understands, some sophisticated financing, because this isn't something that your community bank sees every day. LISC was a very important player early on because they were able to lend us dollars without the property producing any income. Previous renovation and construction work was poorly thought out. There had been damage over the years that wasn't correctly repaired. We had to find all these things before you could get into the full construction process, and without LISC, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
The buildings that became Hensville were the most challenging buildings in the district. LISC provided a solution, and that was a portion of the funding and financing. And that's what led us to the Hensville project.
Hensville is just like another step in an opportunity to have a beautiful Fifth Third Field stadium. We had an opportunity to have more and more public entities so people could come and have lots and lots of fun.
Well, LISC played a key role in a complicated financial process. And these things get built through private and public partnerships. They needed that financial backing, wisdom, and guidance of a real sound and true tested lender and finance partner. And LISC came in at a point where this deal could get finished.
LISC was an integral part in allowing Kevin and I the opportunity to move forward with this building in every single way. They were right there from the start. It's been a 3-year process. I mean, it's been a very long journey. Historic tax credits are very difficult to get. First off, it's a very competitive process to begin with because you are up against every other historic building throughout the state of Ohio, all vying for a small pot of tax credits. There were a lot of people in the area said that, quite frankly, we probably wouldn't get them, especially it being our first time around. Not only that, the statistics in terms of even pulling them through, once you get them awarded, is even that much harder because now you have to find the right pieces of the puzzle, the right capital stack to make sure you can pull it through, and it's quite frankly, it's very tough to do.
They came to us shortly after they acquired the building, and we were able to help with our own tools connect them to a pre-development loan. But we also worked with them to identify the right kind of legal team for a historic tax credit project, the right kind of accounting firm. We helped them meet and connect with other bank partners that might be interested in supporting the project. In the example of Ford Industry Square, they came to us after a partnership with ProMedica was already developed, and we were able to support the project again with a pre-development loan in that case. So that's where LISC can take on some of the risk. Helping them get through that pre-development process is a really comfortable space for LISC and a great complement to our bank partners.
LISC has just been absolutely essential. I think when you ask questions about the economic growth of the community, you're also asking a question about the wellness of the community. And by creating a climate of economic growth, it also creates a climate of opportunity that helps address issues such as food deserts, financial deserts, housing. All those things become foundations for building more and more on top of it.
The Vistula neighborhood is a wonderful place, but it's also one of the poorest neighborhoods in Toledo. It's one of the neighborhoods where most of the original houses have been torn down, and it needs investment in order to come back to life. The people that live here deserve a better neighborhood than they have right now, and the people that want to be closer to downtown, who want to have that kind of very urban lifestyle, need the kind of housing opportunities that right now just don't exist.
Toledo is very fortunate to have LISC here in our community. And you think about what LISC brings. LISC is a strategic partner. It's a financial partner. You look at everything that's happened in our community over the last 15 years or so, Standard Lofts, Bird Ann Building, Hensville, Ford Industry Square. LISC has been a key community partner in all of those developments that we've had.
It takes everybody working together, and LISC can facilitate those processes better than most.
Here we are 20 years later, and you have robust development in the warehouse district, hundreds of millions of dollars in downtown. You know, it's very meaningful to be able to work on projects such as Hensville, and because you know you're contributing to really things that are very meaningful to your family on a personal level and to my family on a personal level. And it's a lot to be proud of, and the community has a lot to be proud of.
In order to pull a project like this through, you need the support of the city. You need people to really come alongside of you and know that, yes, the project is unique, but the value is there and just how big of an impact it will have on the community. It takes all of us to make something like this happen and change the continued narrative.
People forget that downtown is a neighborhood, and I think Toledo has forgotten that. And there's still a lot of heavy lifting to be done here, but I think we're proving that there is a future. It may take some effort, a lot of people may not want to do them, but we want to do them, and with the help of LISC and other partners, they can be the future of the community.